Okay, we are going to graph our linear equations. So we're talking about graphing equations like y equals mx plus b. So the first step is to make sure that the equation is in slope-intercept form. Sometimes we'll give it to you in slope-intercept form, but sometimes it's going to be in standard form, which is why last week we practiced taking equations out of standard form into slope-intercept form. So we need to make sure we put it in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, if it's not already. Then the second step is going to be to plot the y-intercept. Third step, we are going to use the slope to create one more point. Then we'll connect the points and make our line. So we're going to start with an example that is already in slope-intercept form, okay? So first we want to plot our y-intercept. Well, let's look at our equation. Remember, this plus 1 is going to be my y-intercept. So my y-intercept is 0, 1. So I'm going to go on my graph to where 0, 1 is. And I'm going to plot it. Then we're going to use our slope. So our slope is negative 3 over 2. So negative 3 halves. And we're going to do, from the y-intercept, we're going to do our rise over run. So the rise is 3, the run is 2. But it's negative, so when I run, I need to run to the left instead of the right. So I'm going to get a different color for y'all here. From the y-intercept is where we do our rise over run. So I'm going to rise 1, 2, 3. And then since it's negative, I'm running left. 1, 2. So here is where my second point is. And then we just have to connect them. And my line's not going to be perfect. That's okay. You don't have to be perfect. And then that's it. So the second example, it says graph 6x plus 2y equals negative 8. This is not in y equals mx plus b. So we need to put it there, okay? So in this little space over here, we're going to move it. So our first step, you remember back to last week, is we need to move our x, the exciting move. We're going to do minus 6x from both sides. I'm left with 2y equals, I have negative 6x minus 8. Then we'll do the great divide. We divide what's with y. We divide everything on the right by 2. Then y equals negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. Still have x. And then negative 8 divided by 2, got minus 4 now. So our y-intercept is negative 4. So we're going to plot our intercept first. So we've got 0, negative 4, which will be down 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. Then we have to use our slope. Our slope is negative 3, which is not a fraction. But since we're having to do rise over run, I want to write it like a fraction. So I'll write negative 3 over 1. Okay? Any integer you have to put over 1. So we're gonna rise 3, run 1. And again, our slope is negative, so when we run, we're gonna run left. So rise 1, 2, 3. Run to the left 1, and there's our point. And then our line, which again, sorry, I don't have a ruler, but your line's not being absolutely perfect is okay, as long as it's close. Okay, so now we're gonna write an equation from a graph. So on example 3, you can see the line's already there. We have to write the equation. We need to identify the slope and the y-intercept. And then we're going to just write it in y equals mx plus b, which we did a little bit last week, but we did not do it from our graph. Okay, so let's look. Our y-intercept is where, just a reminder, it's where it touches the y-axis. So let's look. It's 1, 2, 3 down. So it's -3. And our slope is our rise over run. So I went 1, 2, 3, 4 up, rise over, and then I went right 1, 2. So 4 over 2, which simplifies to 2. And then I can write my equation. Y equals, slope is 2, and that's what goes with x. And then it's y-intercept is -3, so it's -3. Okay, example 4. Well, let's look at our y-intercept. This guy right here. From the origin, it's up 1, 2, 3, so y-intercept is 3. And then we have to do rise over run, which we're actually gonna, to get to this point over here, we're gonna have to go down, okay? So our rise is a negative rise. Down 1, down 2. So my rise is 2, -2. And then my run is to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I have -2/4, which simplifies to -1/2. So my slope is -1/2, so y equals -1/2 x, and then plus 3, because that y-intercept's a +3. Okay, on to special cases. We talked about 0 slopes and undefined slopes, and that's where this comes into effect. Okay, so this line right here is a let me highlight it so y'all can see. This yellow line that I'm highlighting is a horizontal line. Okay, so this HOY stands for horizontal, 0 slope, and y equals a number. So when you're given an equation and it says y equals 2, it means that it has a 0 slope and it has a horizontal line. Okay. VUX is a vertical line, an undefined slope, and your equation is going to look like x equals a number. So you might have x equals 3. Okay, and so how we graph those, let's look at our horizontal, our HOY, okay, is at 3. We're going to go to at 3 on the y-axis right here, and I'm going to graph it in pink so that you guys can see really well. And horizontal 0 slope, we just have to draw a horizontal line at 3. It means that all our y values are 3. And then we'll do a similar for my vertical, okay? X is -2, so we're going to go on the x-axis to where x is -2 right here, and it's a vertical line. And that is it. Those are my favorite to graph. They're super easy. Okay. So let's look at these examples. And let's graph. X equals 4. Okay. X equals is a vertical line. So we're going to go to where x is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. And we're going to draw vertical line. Y equals -1. That's a 0 slope. We're going to go to where y is -1 on the y-axis. Draw that vertical line. Done. Okay, and then last couple. Write the equation of the line, which did not print for you, so hang on. Let's put it, I'm going to do it in blue. Let's put a line right here. Pretend it's right on the line perfectly. And then on this other graph, we're going to do it right here. Okay, so this is the first one. We've got a horizontal line, so we know it's y equals, and we just have to count how many down is this line. 1, 2, 3, 4. -4. Last one, it's a vertical line, so it's x equals, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over, and it's left, so it's -5. And that is it.